Elon Musk may be about to give the Democrats the biggest possible gift they could imagine for the upcoming midterms, and it all has to do with his new America Party. And the best thing about this polling we're about to show you is that it's terrible news for the Republicans, but it's also kind of bad news for Elon Musk at the same time. So let's jump right into it. They did a poll where they asked if the election for Congress were held today and you had to make a choice, for whom would you vote? And 48% said definitely or probably the Republican candidate. 47% said definitely or probably the Democratic candidate. So when it's just the two, the Republicans are up by 1 point, which is a damning indictment of the Democratic Party if I've ever seen one. But when you add in the America Party, something nobody could have predicted happens. It throws the election to the Democrats. Because in that case, the Democratic candidate gets 45%, the Republican gets 41%, and the American Party candidate gets 5%, which means Republicans go from +1 in a two-party example to -4 when you throw in the third party candidate. And again, nobody could have predicted this because a third party has never had this effect before, and Elon Musk wasn't specifically warned that this was the only possible outcome of launching the party. Can you detect the sarcasm? But anyway, bear in mind, only about half of America even knows what the America Party is at this point. There hasn't been advertising, they don't have actual candidates. And so the effect could be bigger in that more people could theoretically support the America Party. Right now, it's only getting 5%, which is basically, if you follow a lot of presidential elections, that's whatever the big third party for that cycle kind of gets. You'll get like the Reform Party, the Libertarians, sometimes the Green Party tends to get 2, 3, 4, maybe 5%. In this case, they're giving it to the America Party. So he could, if this goes forward, spend a lot of money effectively throwing races to the Democrats. And also, I said this is bad news for Elon Musk, not only the result, but also he's the richest man in the world. He thinks of himself as the funniest and most genius man in the world, and his party gets 5%. He's one of the most known people on the planet, 5%. That's what he gets. I love every part of this. Sharon, what do you think?
I love it too, but then I don't know, maybe I shouldn't cut him some slack, but I mean, it's so new. That's the first thing. Yes. There's not been a lot of advertising. I mean, he tweeted about it in the middle of the night arguing with Trump or something. So look, if it's already 5%, look what could happen. Now, when you're dealing with a scorned billionaire, if he decides midstream, to pull a Comey right before the election and, reverse course, I don't know what that means. But who knows if Mark Cuban kind of steps in and some others, okay, more billionaires, who knows? Regular people might join in full force. We'll just have to see.
You're totally right that it is early and it's like an Echelon poll or something. We're gonna need to get bigger pollsters in or whatever. But also like it's not like it's an unknown pollster and the result is shocking, and so naturally you should sort of question it. It's like, yeah, it's Elon Musk. He literally he's seen as being affiliated with Donald Trump, if not worse in many of these ways. So why would the Democrats support him a bunch? Democrats don't like him at this point. And so, yeah, please, Elon, spend hundreds of millions of dollars on this. But that said, before let me also just mention that Elon Musk is, we don't know the current status of his relationship with Donald Trump. They don't seem to be big fans. Grok did get that big DOD contract, but he sniped at Trump over the Epstein files just a couple days ago. Mike Johnson apparently sort of revealed, maybe by accident, that Elon Musk changed his phone number after the disagreement with Trump.
I used to do that.
Which is just so funny that like,
yeah.
So is it that Trump was calling him, or was Stephen Miller calling him? And this is the only recourse is to get a totally new phone number. You're the CEO of multiple companies. How is that not more disruptive?
It's a power move. It's what you do. You don't even know my number. It's not about blocking people, because you could always do a workaround and have somebody, for you.
Yeah.
You don't even know my number. That's how uncool you are. I did it in my 20s. If I, you know what I mean? If he really hurt my feelings or something, I did it. Yeah. Sure. I don't,
I have had the same phone number for decades, literally decades. I've had this.
Everybody loves you. There's no reason.
My area code, nobody knows where it's from. It's trailed me for so far. It's Svalbard. Anyway, okay, let's turn to another related topic, just real fast. This is a little funny one. Okay. Elon Musk tried to distance himself from government because it was sinking his reputation and also kind of sinking his companies. And so he would really prefer if people would forget that that whole doggy thing happened. But a lot of people are working to make sure that that doesn't happen anytime soon. In fact, if you go to a certain national park in Utah, you'll find a larger than life jogging of your memory of that. This sculpture is now sitting there. It is a way too big, very scary and surreal, uncanny valley version of Elon Musk's face with a sign that says, "Make America Wait Again," now with longer lines thanks to doggy cuts. It's 10 to 12 feet tall with what they're calling a self-satisfied smirk, which is the only expression that Elon Musk has ever had. Well, that's not true. Lately, he's also had that expression of like, where like suddenly he's seeing like nebula instead of the world around him or whatever. But other than that, it's the smirk. So why make this? Why put it outside of a national park? Well, the doggy, it turns out, did do a lot of cutting for our national parks. And while we don't know who made this particular statue, we do know that the National Park Service was cut. They lost about 24% of their staff since January. Okay, they've also only hired 56% of their summer positions as of the beginning of July, possibly due to these funding cuts as well. So a big percentage of the National Park Service is gone. And the stupidest thing about this is that they would say, well, we're tightening our belt or whatever, so we got to cut the money going to the Park Service. But the issue with that, if we go to graphic 7, is that the National Park Service does not cost money, it makes money. We put a very small amount of money into it, it brings in bank. $55.6 billion is the estimate of how much these parks lead visitors to inject into local economies. That was in just 2023 alone, including more than $26 billion in direct spending, let alone all the jobs that are created at local hotels, restaurants, attractions, shops, all of the tourism of this. The parks receive just $3.6 billion from taxpayers, and they bring in what, 15, 20 times as much money? And so that's who they go to cut, because again, it's not actually about efficiency. It's just about sticking a thumb in the eye of anyone who cares, of anything that makes America more social, more respectful of its past, of its natural beauty. It's these cuts are so disgustingly self-destructive. And at least at this particular one now, you'll have a reminder of who's to blame for it. What do you think, Sharon?
Yeah, and that's why that bus, that how tall was it? How big was it? Of Elon Musk and the smirk needs to be there. That's why it needs to be there. Because when people show up and there's long lines and their kids are screaming and you're just trying to do something educational, beautiful family trip, and you're waiting for hours and maybe pass out, heat stroke or something. You need to, if I work there and I'm one of the few left, I can't keep answering these questions. It's not my fault. Look at the bus. And so that's why it has to be there. What dumb billionaire in the administration, oh, that's right, said this would be smart, okay? I thought rich people know how to make money and know how to keep money and leverage money. This is just so dumb. It's juvenile, is what it is. It's juvenile, you're right. It was just about, I'm gonna show you, and it's a power thing by a child.
And also of ignorance. Is that you think Elon Musk has any idea what the return on investment is for the national parks? He doesn't know.
Didn't bother to do even not a deep dive, not even like a teeny bit. Like, let me just read the cliff notes. Nope.
Exactly. And this is a dangerous thing to do politically, because we parents, we need these distractions. Damn it, okay? Because we're bored and we got to get these kids out running around so they're tired, so they'll fall asleep. Don't you make us wait in that car any longer than we already have. Anyway, okay, and by the way, it sort of reminds me a little bit of like, how they say that like $1 going into funding and the IRS recovers like $2 to $10 in like, taxes that they wouldn't have found otherwise. Like, again, they do the cuts. It's like it's not about the efficiency, it's about other ideological goals.